All right. Welcome to the I'm a Practicing Musician podcast, where we explore what it means to be a practicing musician from perspectives spanning music educators to famous musicians. I'm your host, Jake Douglas, and I hope you're ready to be blown away today, music fans. I'm excited to introduce Randy J. Clay, sales representative at Practicing Musician and lifelong music lover and musician. His musical journey began in third grade learning trumpet, and now he specializes in songwriting, performing, and uniquely teaching guitar with open tunings to help students play music quickly. Thanks for joining me today, Randy. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I must say, I think this is my first official podcast.
First official podcast. Well, glad to have you here, and
What a better place to have my inaugural first podcast.
definitely. So I start off every podcast with the same question. In your view, what does it mean to be a practicing musician?
Well, simply put, if you want to be good and if you want to learn, you got to practice.
Mm,
If you buy into music and you want to learn to play music, you got to practice. So to be a practicing musician just tells me people are out there trying to learn and be good.
yeah. And so you've been practicing since third grade, and you still practice?
Oh, absolutely. It's like my fingers would go soft and then I'm in pain. So now my fingers burn if I don't play the guitar. You got to keep those calluses, but also just the older you get, the slower your hands become. You got to practice so you're on, if you want to be good, again, you have to practice. Obviously, when you're playing live and you're soloist, you want to be good. So
Hmm.
I people are drop their jaw when I rip out some guitar. Like, oh, this guy's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How often do you think you practice? How long each time? What's your schedule?
Minimum half hour. Occasionally, if I'm busy or on the road a little bit, I won't play as much, but I make up for it, especially if I play weekends, I'm doing 2 to 3 hour shows 3 nights in a row. So
Yeah.
um that's a lot of work. So over the years now I don't have to practice to be good. I have to practice just to maintain my flexibility, my positioning, and keep it sounding good. And
Yeah.
I'm always still learning brand new stuff, writing new stuff. So I'm always practicing them new songs, trying to work them out, little things like that.
Yeah, I find when I practice new things, then the old things get easier.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And sometimes if you haven't played it in a while or you're working on something, you'll be practicing on it a while and it won't sound that great. But you just work through it kind of, and then you put it away. You come back a few days later, pick it up, and ooh, it sounds great. It's like, whoa, it all sunk in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. So you're a guitarist at this point. What made you choose the guitar?
Well, let's go way back to third grade.
All right.
I, I grew up in a little town in Nebraska, small farming town, and we only had a couple thousand people. Pretty small. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows what you do the night before you do it.
Mhm.
And somehow, I think it's because number one, when I was a little boy, my grandfather came over when he was 8 years old from Czechoslovakia.
Mm.
And with that, he was 8 years old, but he had already learned to play the old style push button accordion.
Okay.
And my grandpa loved polka, Czech music, and he was so good. So the little community of homesteaders, which we all came from homesteaders, they would all gather in this national hall, all the nationalities, but they'd eat and they'd have polka music because they all
Wow.
love polka music. So my grandfather, and I was a little boy, I can remember, and I think I have a picture sitting beside him on the edge of a stage, and his eyes are closed, and I think he might have even had a tear or two coming down as he played. That's
Mm.
how emotional playing was to him as the years went on. So I
Yeah.
think that gave me my first love of music. I grew up with country music day and night in mom's house. My mom loved country music, loved to dance, but she also grew up, polka was her rock and roll. And
Yeah.
even today, my mother's 95 and she'll turn on the polka music and dance around the kitchen. Still
Nice.
today, yeah. So when I got in school, I had a band and I love music. So I thought, well, I'll try it. And we had to pick an instrument. I had no idea. The reason I picked the trumpet was because I had been aware of Herb Alpert at Tijuana.
Yeah.
Went on the radio, whatever. I'd heard that. I forget his signature song, but I liked that as a kid. So, and they had a trumpet available for me to use at school. It was actually a cornet. So, okay, I'll give it a try. Man, I took to it. Um, Within, right away, we had probably 15, 20 instruments, two or three trumpets, a basic beginning band in a little tiny farm town. We all sat in a half circle. We all had to play the piece to see who was best. And right away, I became first chair. And I learned it, I played it, I practiced. And I didn't know it, but I became good.
Mm.
I was first chair, third grade, fourth grade, well, fifth grade. My mom divorced, and my stepdad moved us to Casper, Wyoming. So a little tiny boy from the town of 2000, I thought that was a big city. It was pretty big, 100,000 people. But the bottom line is, I went from a highly focused, great one-on-one teacher to this big school system where I was just another trumpet.
Yeah.
A bunch of them, and I got bused to school and I got lost. Well, by then I was still good. I had totally learned to read music and everything. Um, so I tried and I was good. I think I became first chair. So that's got into fourth and fifth grade. And I actually didn't want to be in a marching band for some reason. I don't know why. I was in the symphony. I went to the symphony side. And I
Okay.
think I was first chair in a symphony through fifth and sixth grade. And I didn't know how good
Mm.
all I knew was, wow, look at this chicks going nuts when the Beatles are on TV. And then here comes Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith and Pink Floyd. And all these guys had guitars and women lined up. And all the guys, we were all starting to grow our hair long now. We're getting into late 60s.
Hmm.
Oh my God, I wanted to play guitar. I wanted to be Jimmy Page. I had hair
Minus
like
the heroin, right?
I had the hair like a plant, but I loved that guitar and Stairway to Heaven. And so
Yeah.
my mom got so mad, but I went and I hawked my trumpet, which she had bought me like $1,100 trumpet in the day. It was a big box, the top of the line.
Yeah.
I didn't know how good I was. I went and got a guitar and fell for the sex, drugs, and rock and roll and started a band, grew my hair out. And sure enough, the chicks lined up every band practice. We did the sock hops in junior high. We worked our way up. We were doing bars when we were underage. And I totally forgot and lost everything I had learned on the trumpet and focused on nothing but the guitar.
And you've been there ever since, huh?
I have. And
Yeah.
I thinking about picking the trumpet up again because now I
Oh,
can learn it on. In fact, I've signed up for the trumpet class on our website.
very nice. Yeah, no, trumpet's great, guitar's great. I like all different instruments. I had a very similar trajectory where I started on flute when I was actually 4 years old, so very young. And it was like, cool. I was very good. I was first chair. All like I didn't even play flute in elementary school because I was way, way too good. So I played saxophone, but then in seventh and eighth grade, I played flute in the wind ensemble, which was the eighth grade band, but I was first chair as the seventh grader. So
Nice.
playing
Yeah.
since I was four. And then I did saxophone and jazz band. And then ninth grade, I was like, okay, I'm a male playing flute. I'm getting made fun of a lot. This is not great. I'm going to play drums. What's the most masculine thing I can do?
You didn't pull up Jethro Tull and take a picture.
Well, I mean, I didn't know Jethro Tull back then. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
That was
All I knew was like James Galway and these classics. I took Suzuki, so I was classically trained. I wasn't rock
yeah.
and roll at all. In fact, I didn't even get into rock and roll. My parents didn't really listen to that kind of music. So I didn't get into rock and roll until seventh and eighth grade, which was like emo. I got into emo first, and then the Drive Through Records group bands. Those, boy, that was my first concert to Alistair and I forget, but yeah, and then I got into pop punk, and I was like, I gotta play drums. So me, my friends Ryan, Matt, and Kyle all just bought instruments and played in my garage. Sucked horribly, but just
We
played,
all, yeah.
played, and played.
I
Yeah.
had people walk out on us once. We were so bad. We were trying to fix an amp and it shorted, and they just started walking out. We had to do a drum solo to get them back in. We had a killer drummer.
Oh yeah. No, that will happen. That's part of the it's
So
part of the journey. Well, actually, that brings up a question I like to ask. A lot of people are afraid of those things happening, right? They're afraid that they're going to be embarrassed. They're afraid of just public speaking or performing in general. So, how do you react after that happens? Do you stay resilient and persevere through those types of what could be perceived as embarrassing experiences?
yeah. Well, over the years, I learned to come to realize that I'm a salesman. So it doesn't nothing bothers me anymore. I'm a salesman. But back in the day, I can remember sixth grade talent show. I got up and played the solo trumpet with a song called Dizzy by Tommy James and the Sean Bell. I'm so dizzy. That was the most popular thing on the radio. I learned it. Not one person clapped, nothing. Dead silent. Kind of
That's
embarrassed
gotta
myself
hit
trying to
hard. Yeah.
cover a rock band with solo on the trumpet. That also led me to guitar. That feeling of, damn, this ain't good. I ain't gonna pick up no women like this. So yeah, it's tough. So yeah, you learn from your mistakes. Some people never get over it. You hear great performance. I can't think like Nancy Wilson of Heart.
Yeah.
Anne still freaks out today before she goes on stage. There's other people too that is it Streisand and a couple others they totally freak out. They're still today, after all their success, have stage fright. Carly
Yeah.
Simon is another one. Carly Simon, you very rarely see her performing because she has such terrible stage fright.
Yeah.
But I overcame it by success. When I
Yeah.
was good, nothing like people coming up telling you how you hard. Oh, they love that song, or man, did you write that? Wow, all those things accumulate over time as you become good. You get
Yeah.
them accolades, and practice makes perfect. Practice also gives you confidence. So
Hmm.
I know I'm good because I practiced.
Yeah.
So now that takes away my stage fright because I know I'm good. I can get up there and do what I'm going to try to do. So
I
now my
think
goal
that,
is to do things that most people don't do.
yeah.
You know, I love today to still go out to open mics night where all the beginners are trying to get their stage fright and sit down on open mic. So I like to go in and blow them all away, but
Hmm.
I support my friends who are hosting them. And I also show these other musicians that here's some cool stuff, you guys. You can do this too. Watch me, and then they all come up. Oh, what tuning you in? How did you do that? Looks so easy. And you teach that a little as you go. And then mostly for me, you inspire people. And
Hmm.
for me as a young musician, I think why I loved this because I was always being inspired.
Yeah.
Mom always had music going, grandpa was playing. Then, we had TV we could actually watch. But I went to a concert, I went and saw the Hollies when I think I was still in junior high.
Hmm.
Wow, that was so it's that inspiration that I love. That's why I still love to play and over teach those people anywhere I go. All want to know how I did that.
Yeah.
So I today still have people, and nothing better for me. And I think as a musician is when you inspire someone who then becomes really good.
Hmm.
When they get on stage, they're like, hey, because they know you're in the audience. I want to thank. And when I play, I go by RJ Clay. 'cause I got somebody was shadowing me one day, followed me home, a stalk. And I had a family with kids. I didn't want them to know my name. I switched to RJ Clay back in the day. It kind of rhymes too, but
Yeah.
I want to thank RJ Clay because when I was a little girl, my dad used to take me to see him play at the Horseshoe Inn, and he taught me open tunings. And because of that, I'm here today. And she not only plays great guitar, she learned to play the cello as well.
Mm,
And she open tunes her cello. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
So to hear that you inspired someone that much is just like beyond, great.
Oh yeah, I've got a letter right here from one of my drum students about how I listen to everything that he says, and I've opened him up to all of these new ways of viewing the world. And yeah, it's
Yeah,
still
isn't that
happening right
great?
now.
And so that's part of the whole practicing musician thing, I think, is kids want to play music and they want to be good, but really, unless you have somebody or some way of being inspired to keep doing it, to work you through not being good, anything to inspire you. And what's cool about open tunings, when you strum that guitar with no fingers, oh, it sounds good. It's an actual chord.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is go up and down. It sounds good. Mom and dad love it to get their beat going and their finger working. And then one finger on one string. Now you can slide it up and down the neck and it sounds good all the way up and down. When that finger burns, switch to the other one. Okay, and now you're building calluses, you're getting your timing down, and it only takes one finger. And it sounds good. Mom and dad loves it. And I've had little kids who actually will write a song practicing that one finger slide up and down the neck. It's cool as
Mm,
hell. And so it takes away the fear of not sounding good. That's cool. You teach them how to get the calluses, all those little things up front. You inspire them now because, wow, it only takes one finger. Whoa. So that's really inspired a lot of kids to keep going. Then I think if they can get into micro tutoring, now that teacher is inspiring them. Every
yeah.
time he responds to them, you're sounding good, but let me help you with this. Oh,
Hmm.
you're doing great. You just need this and that. And as he nurtures him, he's inspiring them.
Yeah.
That's going to keep them going. That's
Hmm.
that's a beautiful thing.
Totally. So it sounds like your initial inspiration was getting the ladies, and that worked out well for you. What
Um,
inspires you now?
well, listen to this. I want to say six of my best friends married their wives who they met at my band
And
camp.
were they musicians, or were they were just
Oh, they
hanging?
were hanging out just because they knew that's where the gals were hanging out. They were not musicians. That was just the gang we had watching us, practice. They all
Nice.
met. Half of them got pregnant. Yeah, they all got married. It's pretty funny, pretty funny. I
Yeah.
kind of did it for that, but I did it more, I think. I mean, the chick part was cool, but I had a great girlfriend. It was more the love of music for me.
Yeah.
My inspiration came, from just listening to records, listening to
Yeah.
that guitar player, that up. I wanted to play that solo.
Mm.
So, that's what kept me going. The
Well,
hard
and
part was buying all the equipment and the guitars. Wow.
expensive. Are you a gearhead?
I was back then. I mean, the
Yeah.
first electric guitar I had was a 12 string
Oh,
with
nice.
about, 3/4 inch action. It was horrible. But I finally got a 6 string, and I think by high school I got my first Les Paul.
Mm. Cool.
Cherry burst. It was a beauty.
Yeah, you're reminding me of when I went to college. So my first day of college, I was on house arrest. I couldn't leave my dorm.
Because
In college, yeah. So for the first month, I couldn't leave at all. But somehow the fates aligned, and my dorm was literally right on top of the music room. So I could make it to the music room and play, just play, 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 play. And so I met all the musicians that I played with for the next 4 years there. And we just sit there and there'd be girls and we'd be like hanging out. And the girl I dated for 3 years, in college I met during those practices.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't leave because I've got this ankle bracelet on, but yeah. So interesting. And yeah, but I think that something you just said is key. The practicing, I found that because I love to practice, then well, you're saying that you don't get as much stage fright because you practice a lot. I think that what I've realized is it's similar to that, and one of the reasons is because it's like I don't care if I'm doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it because I want to practice, and I'm doing it because I want to perform. And if people like it, great. If people don't like it, then that's also great. I don't care. People,
And I'm the opposite because
yeah,
nowadays, back then, well, it didn't matter as a band, right? You hide
yeah,
behind the band. But
hmm
as a soloist,
yeah.
um, you feed off the crowd. You have to, or they
Oh
all
yeah.
for you. You have to get them involved as well. And
hmm
so you got to find out what they're celebrating. You got to toast them. You have to get them in on a song they know to sing along, or you got to tell them a great story that they want to hear.
Yeah. When you told
Uh,
me the other day that you're actually sometimes writing songs for people's weddings, can you talk about
yeah.
that a little bit?
So throughout the years, I was the guy that was good. Everybody else kind of went away and got careers, went to college. Man, I stuck to music.
Hmm
That's what I wanted to do. I knew it. I wanted to be Jimmy Page. I didn't care what it took, but I needed money. I had to go to work in the oil field. But all the way on the trucks, I was driving, I was singing, I was writing notes. Always had a notebook going because I was kind of a poet and an artist. I was a really great artist and painter as well in junior high and high school. Um, so I was the guy that was good that everybody knew. So when somebody got married, they're like, "Oh, hey, you come play that song at our wedding?" Well, so when I was young, I did try to cover some of those great wedding songs. I could sing higher. But
Yeah.
then after a while, I think it started with a really good friend of mine, Michael, was getting married. He said, "Let's write a song. Would you write a song for me?" This is clear back in the late 70s, probably early 80s. One of the guys who met his gal at my band practice, got her pregnant. So, well, okay, let's try it. The only way to really get people to talk about their true feelings is to get them drunk, first of all. So, but I did. I wrote, God, pages, pages, pages of notes from him. Actually, it was a song from him to her. Um, what do you want to say? Where'd you meet? Blah, blah, blah. So I got all these notes, and it took me about 3 months. But the cool part of open tunings, it's beautiful. So for weddings, you just pick a nice, beautiful, high open melody. And I put together this beautiful song and we called it One Light. And Mike helped me write it or hone it, but I had basically written one light, my heart shines bright like one light. I will light the way for you and all you want to do. This great song came out of it. So I played it at his wedding and everybody cried, recorded it. It was just, God, they put the lyrics up in writing. It was just beautiful. It turned out so good. Even now, I have to go play it at their anniversary. Go play that song. Um, so then, oh God, everybody, come write one for my wedding. Come write one for my weddings. And then occasionally somebody died. Write a song in tribute to my daddy, Pat. Yeah,
Mhm.
because people love a great eulogy, but the song, it's really a different cool thing in a funeral. Yeah, I've over the years I've written I think over 15 wedding songs and performed them at the weddings, and
Mhm.
maybe 5 or 6 funeral songs. So I have enough for an album. I thought I'd call it I Do, and I did. Wedding and funeral songs.
Two-sided record
I
or
do, and I did.
yeah.
It's
Nice.
been fun. You become a part of the family. So then, yeah, that transitioned into birthdays. Oh my God, I love to write. Everybody sends you emails of all the stuff that people did. I heard what you did on a blanket on the 50-yard line in the middle of the school year. Blah blah blah, and it's true. And so when you show up to the big barbecue and it's somebody's birthday, I got Turning 50 blues tune I wrote for you. All the verses are true because your sister told me. I
Yeah.
heard, oh, they all love it. The whole place goes nuts. It's the
Nice.
most fun you can have. And then you got to have all those sing along songs. So
Yeah.
I have them now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So you've been able to make a career out of performing pretty much. Did you teach? A lot of musicians I talk with have to cobble together revenue or income from multiple different
Oh man,
channels.
not really, because I moved to Denver. The oil field died, so it's like right about 1980. I got on a train with my cat and my guitar, and we went
Nice.
to Denver on the Amtrak from Wyoming. And was a street musician, worked my way up. I was playing the bars, trying to make a living. I had planned on getting started in Denver, where the real money was, music
Mhm.
scene. And, I met this beautiful blonde, and I got her.
Yeah.
You can't be a musician with a pregnant gal. I married her, and I had to get a real job. So thank God I did. I got a beautiful daughter, beautiful family, but I've always had to work doing something else because I wasn't at that point in music that it could support me and a family. I didn't
Yeah.
needed insurance, the whole 9 yards. Then music's always become a secondary thing because I had to support, but I still loved it. Still did it. Everybody was good. I knew it. Everybody still had me play their weddings. I did it at weekends on the side. Uh, by then, though, I had given up a little before I got married. I got tired of lugging all that gear. Got tired of the amps. Nobody showing up for practice. This guy's stoned on this. This guy's drunk. Blah blah blah. Everybody's fighting. That's no good. That's no fun. That ruins you as a musician. My friends in Firefall had that happen. Their band fell apart. They had 9 platinum records.
Wow.
So what do? I went to the Rainbow Music Hall in Denver and I saw John Prine. It
Mm.
blew me away with that acoustic guitar and his songwriting ability. Oh my God. I think the next day I hawked everything electric I had and went and bought brand new acoustic guitar. And I dived into John Prine, Gordon Lightfoot, Cat Stevens, Crosby, Stills, Nash, everybody at the time that was acoustic, but especially John Prine. And today I can still probably play 50 John Prines. I can go for 4 hours from memory of John Prine. I love his songwriting. He is an icon, bless his heart. And I've been acoustic ever since. I don't have to share my check with nobody. Nobody argues with me. I show up. I tell stories. I'm really good. I have 4 guitars. I have a Martin, a Taylor, a classic Adamas, and a old Ibanez. So I have them each tuned, because the hardest part is tuning, open tuning. Wow, you know, takes forever. So I have open C, open D, open E, and standard tuning on 4 guitars. That way I can just switch through.
Nice. And so, what was that like to transition from playing with groups to playing by yourself? I mean, it sounds like you don't have stage fright at all, but still, you're now the sole entertainer.
Yeah, it's very intimidating at first. You learn you have to pick your crowd.
Mm,
Oh, anymore, I'm pretty old, but I can't go play the most popular acoustic bar in town because it's full of college kids. And I don't have any songs that they know. And it's such a loud, boisterous, drunk bar that they don't listen unless they know what you're playing.
yeah.
So you have to pick your crowd if you can. You want to go and first of all, if you want to be inspired acoustically, you need to go to some folk festivals because
Mm.
nowadays folk festivals during the day. It's a weekend festival. They have workshops from the stars.
Oh,
You can
nice.
sit down with Billy Strings, or you can sit down with Jerry Douglas and take a dobros
Hmm.
Saturday before they play at night. So places like Telluride Bluegrass Festival, they're huge on workshops. Big bucks, but they're worth it. Oh, talk about inspiration. Sit down with Jerry Douglas, the world's best dobro.
That,
Um,
yeah, that's cool.
Whoa. Yeah. So started having the ability to go to, this is when the coffee shops took off. Talk about, that's where I really learned open tuning was David Wilcox.
Mm,
Huge open tuning back in his day. Eye of the Hurricane, Rusty Old American Dream. I still play both those songs today, and they're the most pop, some of the most popular songs.
mm.
David Wilcox, Patty Larkin, Sean Colvin, different songwriters of the late 80s, maybe coffee house circuit.
Mm.
Boy, those just, man, I love that. So I started playing coffee houses, got into patios, smaller bars where people would actually listen. I still play some boisterous bars. I have some really fun songs, some drinking, dirty, drunk love songs, I call them. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's what they all want to hear first. If they can cuss and swear and dirty, drunk stuff, I'll have them all night.
You won them over.
Well, here's the problem. They want to buy you a shot. You got to drink with them.
Oh yeah.
I can't drink. Number one, I can't analytics. And if I have a shot, then I get stupid and I sound like, you know what?
Yeah.
What? But they're like, what? You too good to drink with me? What?
Yeah.
Fine. And they'll leave. So over the years, I've learned to take in a nice bottle of dark apple juice to the bar. And if they want to buy me a shot, instead of put $1 in my tip jar, charge them $8. You keep four, I'll keep four, send that shot direct. Then I become a hero. This guy got 10 shots, man. He's still down and gray, drinking with us all night. And they're lining your tip jar. I can drink apple juice all night. You'll stop.
So
And
wait,
I don't offend
you
nobody.
split the money with the bar, you give them half and
Yeah, because they're doing the work back there to pour it up and send it out. Yeah, they might as well make it too.
that's
I got to
funny.
keep my bars happy.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. So
Yeah.
uh, wow, so yeah, I've played a lot of bars in the area, a lot of different casinos and then bigger venues and whatnot. The bigger venues were primarily when I was in bands down in LA, but uh so what do you see as the difference between maybe audiences and the difference between like types of venues when you're
Yeah. I see that as I go around and see people perform. Obviously, I have access to the world, some of the world's best, all the way to the intimate. So, seeing someone great in a very intimate venue
hmm
is most inspiration I think you could get. But even seeing them at a large venue like Red Rocks seats, a little over 8,000 people, but to experience Pink Floyd there is, incredible. But I think mostly to, like, nowadays, of course, everybody loves Billy Strings, but in my opinion, one of the best acoustic guitar players in the world is Tommy Emmanuel.
Mm.
Tom, like the new age Chet Atkins. Okay. He doesn't sing, but he can play three guitars on one at the same time. He is so good. He's from Australia. Tommy, he'll play every hit he'll do a Beatles medley just acoustically, and
Yeah.
you'll sing along with it because he's so good. And he is the best performer and acoustic guitar player. Put him and Billy Strings, and on YouTube you can watch a video of the two of them playing, but it's insane how good they are. But I went to see Tommy play. We have a little venue here called the Armory, and it only seats 250 people. And I
Mm.
got Mark Cohn play walking in Memphis at this place. I got to see Kev Mo front row right there. I mean, we were talking to Mark Cohn. What do you want to hear? Walking in Memphis. But Tommy Emmanuel, and he showed up and played a tour with Dave Grissom,
Mm.
mandolin player. They call him the dog. He's the best mandolin player, since
Actually, I haven't
ever.
heard of him.
But anyway, Tommy's great. To watch him control a crowd in a small venue. Same with Mark Cohen. Mark's a great guitar player on top of all his piano, but 250 people right there. He's like they're in his living room
hmm
talking to him, joking with them. But guys, world class entertainment right in front of you. And he has everybody focused, every eye, every ear. It's so cool. And then people
Yeah.
like Wilcox I saw there, he gets up and same with Willie Porter. Willie Porter is one of my acoustic open tuning heroes. He's from Wisconsin. Willie, same way. I've seen Willie at the Soil Dove, 150 people, so intimate, and he's just world class. So he gets the crowd going. Okay, yell something, yell somebody's name, say something, and he puts it all together and writes a song right there in front of them. It's
That's cool.
incredible to watch. And David Wilcox did that too. And Willie gets the whole crowd singing. He's got this high part for the ladies. Do, 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 do. And the guys say, bop, bop, da, da. And then he gets them both going. And he fades out on the song and leaves the whole crowd just singing to fade out the song. He did that in a crowd of a couple thousand people.
Wow.
That's what you can do with music. And you can see that when you're in the crowd, you feel that connection.
Yeah.
It translates to when I'm on stage and people come up and I think, God, nobody was listening to me. I was
Mhm.
playing to the wall. But like you, over the years, doesn't matter. I'm getting paid. Doesn't care. They hired me to play. I try to talk to them. They don't listen. I just play. I'll be breaking down, getting ready to go away, and almost always one person will walk up. Dude, take a minute. Just tell me how much I love that song you played. Is that one of yours? Oh, man, you talked to my heart in that song, and I just want you to tell you how much I loved it. And I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
That one person that was listening, that makes the whole night worth it right there. Oh my God.
Totally. Well, I like your insight into playing to crowds that will actually appreciate what you're doing. But at the same time, you're right. When you're playing to a crowd that doesn't seem like they're paying attention, a lot of times there is that one person. You don't feel it though, because when I'm performing, there's an actual like closed circuit of
Yeah.
attention that builds the energy up between the crowd. And a lot of people that have been to concerts, I've talked to people who are not spiritual at all, and they go and see a concert and they've been to a lot of concerts, but this particular concert moved them in some way. And they're like, oh, I had a spiritual experience. Well, performing, that's like way higher.
Oh, yeah.
The experience is way greater. There's times where literally the third dimension will just slip away and it's just this energetic field.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm not even in control of what I'm doing anymore. It's just this is amazing. And it's like the most pure joy that I can feel. And so, yeah, it's really interesting to see that dynamic. And um, that's one of the reasons that I think it's going to a music festival or something, all of the differences that people would normally have going throughout their everyday life seem to melt away because they're all there because they believe in what that singer is singing about.
Yeah. And when you can sit down with somebody like that, you also realize that, God, they're just normal people like us. He ain't no different than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Jerry, what made you so great? I
Hmm.
practiced day and night. Stevie Ray Vaughan, his fingers were bleeding and he fell asleep on his bed with his guitar. He'd wake up and he'd get back at it. It's a
Yeah.
true story. That's just to watch those people, but then hey, they're just a normal Joe, you
Hmm.
know. Look at these great people. Yeah, that's really great. Watch those people and get inspired.
Yeah. So who are your who I heard Billy Strings. He's obviously a newer musician. What other acoustic guitarists do you think are up and coming right now in your
Well, my son, he was somehow in my age group. I kind of skipped over to Grateful Dead. I wasn't really into their music. I was more Led Zeppelin, harder rock. My son, for some reason, took to the Grateful Dead, and then he got into String Cheese Incident.
Yeah.
And I taught him guitar. He was pretty good, but he went out on his own and became a world class mandolin player. He
Mm,
got bluegrass. He's the one that introduced me to Billy Strings. We actually went to Red Rocks and we saw Green Sky Bluegrass.
bluegrass. Yeah.
And so every year they sell out 2 nights back to back at Red Rocks, and they always bring people who have never been to Red Rocks. And they
Yeah.
brought Billy Strings. It was his first time ever. and he just blew me right off the bench. So that's how I fell in love with Billy, and got into bluegrass. Oh my God, there's great guitar players in bluegrass. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Um, but yeah, the other instruments, because I'm a songwriter, and as I got into some 70s and the 80s, I was real big in with Allman Brothers, Wayne, and some of them
Oh
guys.
yeah.
But acoustically, I was a huge Melissa Etheridge fan when she come out with her stuff. I was a big Neil Young fan, Cat Stevens, Gordon Lightfoot. Um, then I got into the John Prine, Wilcox era. Up and coming, God, there's so many. I
Yeah.
can't even sit down on Spotify. There's so many. I have a world-class guitar picker here in Fort Collins. He
Mm.
won national finger picking champ. His name is Kerry Morin. Very good friend. I'm hoping I can get a meeting with Celeste. I would love to get Kerry on a podcast.
Oh, I'd
Kerry's
love to
a
talk to him.
Native American Indian.
Okay.
Just went out and he took a Charles Russell book of paintings and he wrote a song for every one of the paintings that he liked. And we just released a new album.
Nice.
He is such a good finger picker, blows you away, kind of a Chet Atkins style.
Mm.
Sounds like three guitars going, but his intuitive and insight on songwriting blows you
Mhm.
away.
Nice.
Look up Kerry Moran. He's got some, I don't know, maybe a dozen albums by now. Some of his
Cool.
songs, like Prisoner, like another song he wrote about a friend of his whose dad was a fisherman. And when he plays a song, it's like his dad, he's a fisherman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a good songwriter. So to see somebody do that and they know who they are and go watch them and talk to them, again, they're normal people, but wow, what a gift. And to tie that with the great musicianship, oh, and you would never get that far if he hadn't learned to play guitar. He had a great band first, and then he realized he was a great songwriter too. Oh, when you marriage those two things, that's a gift. And then you
Yeah.
got to the world, take it out there, practice and take it to the world. Like you say,
Yeah.
that person comes up, how much they love what you did. Nothing
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. The bluegrass scene is
Hmm,
awesome. I love it. When I
yeah.
was in college, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I grew up listening to classical, then went to the emo scene, then went to the pop punk scene. I went to college and I met uh a bandmate of mine for 4.5 years, Story Scheinberg, and she blew me away with her just hard classic rock. But she was a soloist. She had written this song in 8th grade that was, we just ended up calling it the original, and it was one of my favorite songs, kind of almost progressive rock with, but there's some videos of us playing that at some of the music festivals and whatnot at our school. The, uh, but it was interesting because after I came back to Seattle and moved away, she got really into bluegrass because she's like, this is the really
Yeah.
complex guitar stuff. This is what's gonna light my fire now because she's amazing, but that's the really inspirational stuff for her. So that's how I know what is it?
Huge.
Green Sky Bluegrass
Yeah.
and a
Billy
lot of
String sells out 3 nights at Red Rocks in 10 minutes at about, if you want to be low, you're going to pay $800 plus a seat. It's crazy ridiculous,
whoa.
but they do it. So yeah, we have such a huge scene here. But yeah, like 4th of July, we got infamous string dusters. Going to be at the Mishawaka up on the river for 3 nights throughout 4th of July.
Cool.
The end of the month, they're going to have Yonder Mountain String Band.
I've seen them.
Yeah. In fact, my son and I went and saw Jeff Austin before he died. We saw the last show he did at the Mishawaka. He
Yeah.
died the next week. Well, that's one of my son's mandolin heroes, Jeff Austin.
Well, yeah, I've going back to when you're talking about intimate shows, one that I got to see right before he passed was Justin Townsend. And I'd never liked country, but I saw Steve Earle and then I saw his son, and it was just like blew me away. I saw Steve Earle at Hardly Strictly at Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. It was a lot of fun.
I
And then
do
he
call
signed my buddy's mandolin actually
yeah.
after the show. So that was cool. But then we saw Justin Townsend in this tiny little museum. It was very intimate and it wasn't even a music venue. And it was just, him on a floor and then everybody around him.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But
One of the biggest inspirations too, I was going to mention, because as a little kid growing up, my grandpa and everybody, but when we got TV, of course, my mom loved country. Oh my God. I think we all as a family sat down every week to watch Hee Haw.
what's Hee Haw?
Hee Haw was the original state of the art variety music show for years with
Mm,
all the country stars. You know, Roy Clark would just rip it up on this show with Buck Owens. They were two of the regulars. Roy, you got to look up Hee Haw. So they'd have comedy, they'd have skits, but it was all based around music and pretty much high level country. But Marty Stewart, you're like, wow, I never knew he could play like that. But
yeah.
Roy Clark was one of the greats on the guitar. Oh my
Mm.
God, was he good? So that Hee Haw at my age was like the state of the art music show before Laugh-In or any of those came along.
Oh,
We as
nice.
a family all watched Hee Haw.
Huh. Yeah, I never heard. So that was pre MTV. For some reason, I don't, maybe it's
Yeah.
the era I grew up in, but I thought MTV was like the first music video channel or music
Oh,
channel.
Hee Haw, some of them, but yeah, when MTV come out, that changed my world. I think a lot of people that love
Yeah.
music now we can watch it, see it. Talk about inspiration, being able to see Aerosmith or Zeppelin in a video. Oh my God! And
Yeah.
again, look at all those beautiful women.
I want it. No, but it's a really good point. I think that watching somebody do something. So there's a lot of people that don't take lessons. There's a lot of people that take lessons. There's a lot of people that learn online. There's a lot of people that learn just by watching somebody and then
Billy
repeating what
Springs
they're
does
doing.
not know how to read music.
Yeah.
He plays so good by watching his dad do scales on basic bluegrass chords. He
Hmm.
taught himself. In fact, he says because his banjo player is one of the best in the world, went to Juilliard School of Music. So without him, Billy wouldn't even be able to function in a band because he doesn't know what he's playing. He just knows how to do it.
Yeah.
So his banjo player actually is the one who can transpose it for everybody. Because in a four-piece bluegrass, it sounds as good as they do. Your bass is basically your bass and drums. It's all the percussions in the bass, kind of a little bit on the mandolin, chunk, chunk, but and a guitar and a banjo. And they
Mhm.
just will captivate you with a four-piece band. And I think they've added a fiddle player now, they're five-piece. He
Mm.
doesn't know how to read music. I could not believe it.
Yeah, well, it activates different areas of the brain, so it gives you more freedom in a sense, but at the same time, there's a different kind of like I know a lot of classical players that learn to read music that cannot improvise or cannot join a band and just like play. And I know a lot of people that improvise who then can't read sheet music. So
When I go to open mic, nobody can jam with me because they don't understand what I'm playing in open tuning.
oh, we have such a cool, it's not even an open mic. It's called Mojam Mondays. If you ever come up to Seattle, this would be an awesome place to have you actually play because they have essentially what it does is you sign up for your instrument and then everybody signs up for their instrument and you get paired with random people and you
Nice.
play for between 15 and 20 minutes and somebody gets up there well group of 5 to 15 people or so at a time get up there, somebody plays a riff and then everybody jams for 15 or 20 minutes and then in between there's a featured person that plays 3 songs and this goes on for 3.5 hours every single Monday for the last 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
awesome.
super fun. But I go there. I haven't been in about a year, but I was going there every single Monday for a year before that, almost every single Monday. And there's so many people that I'd be like, "Hey, you want to come do this thing?" Or like, "I can't do that." It's like, what? What do you mean you can't do that? Like, it's just like,
Well,
just listen. Like, do you not know the patterns? Like, how did you learn mute? There's patterns underlying all these things. It's not just like this is a song. It's like, no, this is the structure, this is the framework, these are the phrasings, like these. These are the
All those people that
transitions.
play by ear, they just hear it and play it because it sounds right.
Yeah, which I
So
think
many
is
of
one
them
of the
out.
benefits of having grown up as a classical musician. I know how to read music, but then I just played with my friends in a garage. We just like messed around and like tried to figure it out. So I can do both pretty well. Uh, on different instruments. I can read music on drums, but I couldn't like go into a recording session, put a score on the music stand and then play it right there. I need to study it. I'm not good enough to just like read it.
Yeah,
With flute, I can pretty much read probably up to intermediate level stuff, sight reading, no problem. But with
yeah.
flute, then I can't necessarily improvise as well because I'm more classically trained. I was in a folk rock funk band called
Wow.
Inducting Edgar, which our goal was to get Edgar Martinez, the designated hitter for the Seattle Mariners, inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he did get inducted, so we were successful. And I will definitely take credit for that, even though we had nothing to do with it. But the
The kind of
yeah, right. But that was a really fun band, and I would play drums when my buddy was rapping, and then we had four other musicians depending on the time, and then he would play drums and I'd play flute. We had to have another singer. So I had to learn how to improvise over these like folk rock, like funk, like hip hop. It was just a
you
eclectic mix of
did you
genres.
ever put effects on it? Echo and reverb.
Oh, never. No, I'm not a gearhead at all. No.
That was Jethro Tull there now.
Oh yeah, no, I love Ian Anderson.
That's
But
one of the reasons Billy Strings is so great because he's taken basic bluegrass guitar to a whole new level with all these effects. He does
uh,
like, total effects on his guitar.
yeah.
It's wah wah and echo and everything. I
See, I
love
mean, well, Randy, I had the same drum set for 10 years and I never even replaced the heads because I
Oh
didn't
my.
care. I'm that little of a gearhead. So like I just wanted to play. I didn't care what it really like sounded like. Now I have a Yamaha recording custom with a reissue from 2016, which is beautiful, $10,000, really,
Wow.
really nice kit. But for 10 years, I was just like, I don't care. And even with this one, it's like it's really nice but I'm not adding anything to it. It's like I bought it, I did my work, I figured out what's a nice kit now. I'm done.
I can
So,
remember in my first band, it must have been junior high. Our drummer, Scott Loomis, had this crappy old drum set, and we were getting serious and pretty good. And we practiced in his garage so his mom and dad could hear us. We got in the car with them and they drove us to Denver, buy
mm,
Scott a drum set. And we went to Rockley Music, been there for 50 years in Denver, and he bought a full size Pearl drum set,
oh, nice.
original pearls. Oh, man, that made the whole band. People would show up just to see his drums. It was like, wow,
Yeah,
that
no, I'm
drum.
learning about the quality of sound of the drums. There's actually a new he's the probably the best drummer out right now, and he's 27 years old. He's incredible. LS Estepario Siberiano, and his drums sound amazing. And he's one of those guys, very technically proficient. He can play something that fits with the song, like a lot of singer-songwriters like, but he's very technically proficient. He can do a whole bunch of stuff. But the way that his drums sound is incredible. And he's spot on. I mean, he's got like 4 million followers on YouTube as a drummer.
That's great.
Yeah.
I
So,
think the best drumming overall that I ever saw was when I went to see Santana.
oh, who was it? Michael Shreve or who was the drummer?
Oh, it's actually a black chick. She was on the basic
Oh,
drums, but he had,
Cindy Blackman Santana.
yeah, she married him. She
Yeah.
is so good. But the whole percussion setup that Santana has, there's like four drummer percussionists. It
Mm.
just blows you away the quality of their drumming overall. It's just incredible.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. I saw Michael Shreve. That was the drummer at Woodstock with
Oh wow.
and
Heard
I
him.
saw him in a very intimate setting. I worked at this sandwich shop called Grinders, made by this guy from the East Coast who just loved jazz music and he just, a huge 400-pound dude, just loved
Wow.
his sandwiches and loved his jazz. He'd come in every Saturday. We'd have some blues or jazz artists come in, and you could fit maximum, I think, 30 people in this restaurant. And so I saw Michael Shreve play there. It was so cool.
We have a local guy here. Speaking of drummers, one of my best friends, Tim Elliott. Tim loves drums. Started his own band, had a little local thing going. And then his wife is a bass player. She got in a band, three-piece, and Tim became a great drummer.
Hmm.
Go forward 10 years. One of the biggest things nowadays, and it's because I just went to see a Pink Floyd cover band called Brit Floyd, but the biggest thing around our area is tribute bands.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So there's a band called Blue Sky that's like the world's best Allman Brother tribute band.
Mm.
So Tim, yes, so he has the best Boston tribute band. He has the best Kiss. They all dress up like Kiss. And now he's in a band called El Loco Fandango, and it's a ZZ Top cover band. And I mean, the guys have beards, and Tim went out and bought the Frank Beard entire drum set. So he's playing in three cover tribute bands right now. They're making close to $5,000 a show.
Yeah,
Because they
that's
sound
wow.
just like Kiss or they sound just like Boston.
Yeah.
And everybody's hiring them because they sell out every place that they play. And this ZZ Top thing's taken off. They even have the smokestack mic stands. I mean, you think you're looking at ZZ Top when you walk in and see him play.
Yeah, that's
And
incredible.
he's just and he switches all four bands he's in. He plays different set of drums for all of them. And
Mm.
then whenever we have a disaster, he's the first guy to step up and do a fundraiser. When Marshall Fire came through and burned all those houses, he stepped up and he got all the drummers to come up to one of our amphitheaters up here, and they drummed for 3 days without
What?
stopping. They started on Friday night, went all the way to Sunday. And
Wow, that's
you
impressive.
come in and drum for 2 hours and go away. But at some point, there was always somebody drumming for 3 days, day and night. And he did it. I forget somebody matched his fundraising, and they made thousands of dollars.
Nice.
And he took all the drum heads, signed them, and gave them to the peoples whose houses had burnt down. This
Yeah.
one drummer has turned this whole community, and they all follow him, and it's just amazing to watch it what he does.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Which
That's
leads
fun.
me, I was going to give you another point I wanted to make throughout this whole podcast
Yeah.
is we do this because we love music, right? We
Yes.
learn to love it. And everybody loves some kind of music. In fact, on I think it's Facebook or somewhere, it's music, the universal language.
Mm.
Every heart loves some kind of music.
Hmm.
Universal language, right?
Yeah.
So for you to one thing, and for people to see how much you love it, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So real quick, I recently went to see Brit Floyd just 2, 3 weeks ago. I posted a few Facebook of my friends are all take great videos as the lasers and all.
Hmm.
So one of the songs I posted was "Wish You Were Here," and
Good
I
song.
learned to play that like the first Pink Floyd song I could ever handle and do, but back in high school, right? "Wish You Were Here," got it down pretty good. I loved playing and I loved that song. Met a girl. She moved to Denver actually with me for a couple of years, and I taught her how to play guitar and
Mm.
I taught her that song. And she kind of learned it, whatever. But now, fast forward 40 years, I got a reply to the video. She's like, RJ, her name is Anita. She goes, I remember when you taught me this song on the guitar.
Wow.
And she goes, and I remember how much you love music. And I want you to know you are the reason I made music my career. Anita went to the University of Wyoming and became a teacher. And so she's the teacher in Arizona I've been telling you about.
Mm.
Taught marching band in Rock Springs, and she went to Gillette. She took first place there with her marching bands. She has just become the music director for the district in Paradise Valley School System in Phoenix, Arizona.
Nice.
And did it all because she saw how much I loved the music, and she did too, and she wanted to make that her life. And she did. And I'm so proud of her and that. For her to say that, it just, I can't tell you what
Yeah.
that means.
Oh, becoming a master in a lineage is pretty incredible.
So the love of music, but you get there by practicing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so to let me ask one more question, and then I know we're over time, but if you have time for one more
I,
question.
I'm
Okay,
wonderful.
so the question is, how do you see the identity of a practicing musician evolving in today's world?
Well, there's several things that I try to tell young people that are learning to play music. Number one, you got to practice to be good, but what am I going to do with music? To me, again, music's a universal language, but music theory and being the ability to read music is a second language. It's like Spanish or French. You learn to speak the language, you're going to know it all your life. That's what music is too. You learn that language, number one, that's a language for life. But
Hmm.
more importantly, you can do anything with music. So let's say you're a great football player. Cool. You get in maybe college looking for scholarships, but guess what? You got injured. Boom, there goes your career. Now you have nothing. Well, guess
Hmm.
what? If you know how to play music, there's your scholarship. You can still go to college. You can play music when you're injured. No
Hmm.
matter what you love to do, you should also try to learn to love and play music because it's there to back you up, there to help you. But most importantly, it opens a door. Whether
Yeah.
you choose to go classical, you choose to play in a closet at home on your bed, you choose to go out and play coffee houses, it's your personal signature. No one will ever sound like you or play like you. It makes you unique in a worldwide language.
Yeah.
But it can open so many doors, marching band scholarships, orchestra scholarships. It'll help educate you and hopefully bring you satisfaction and joy and open even more doors throughout that process of learning and educating yourself, getting ready for life.
Yeah. Well, that's why I called practicing musician, because it's not about making money. It's not about becoming famous. It's not about performing. It's not about it could be about any of those things. But at the heart of it, all of those things require practice, and the practice in and of itself is a reward, whether
Yes.
if you're sitting by yourself in your room. So thank you very much for sharing all this wisdom today. Before we go, can you help the audience understand where to find you?
Absolutely. I do have a few Facebook videos. I'm not real huge on my social media presence.
Mhm.
I used to have a website, but it was so hard to manage and maintain. But you can search for RJ Clay. You'll find me out on YouTube. I have a few videos out there. I got a huge Facebook following and a Facebook account. If you look up RJ Clay, ping me. I'll be glad to befriend you. I got some real cool videos of me playing along with friends. um, rjclaymusic at Gmail. Send me an email. I'm always happy to talk to people, help inspire them. I live in the Colorado Fort Collins area, so I'm out picking and playing throughout the Rocky Mountain music. As my card says, most anywhere they'll have me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Randy. Well, again, thanks. I appreciate you coming on the podcast and being here with us today. And thank everybody for listening. We will tune in again next Friday. See you then.
Enjoy your weekend, and thanks again, Jake.